What's going on, you lots? I hope you're all sweet. And check out the state of this gaff, mate.
Hello, my name's Pierce. I'm from Essex, I like to party.
Anyway, we are now going to be going to the beach because, mate, look at the state of this new gimbal. The Zhiyun Crane 2S. We're going to be taking it down to the beach and we're going to be shooting my man Jack Folan, little bit of a supermodel, little bit of a footballer.
I wish.
And, you know, just getting that American, no, it's not American, is it? It's
espresso.
Little
Double,
espresso,
obviously.
baby, bosh. Anyway, quick little rundown because I don't want to waste your time. But, me and the fellas, the naughtiest Airbnb in Crete. Let me just show you the little gaff, mate, with the fellas, bro. It is just, it's a bit scenes, mate. Oh, a little bit of beer pong and that. Don't hurt, does it? Don't hurt.
Oh, that could have been so good.
It's unfortunate. Anyway, so check out the state of this place. I don't usually like to show like, oh yeah, look at us, oh whatever, but I'm really appreciative of this. And it's like, I want to look back one day and look at this video and be like, yes mate, me and the boys had it off in this amazing villa. We're lucky fellas, man. Let's go down to the beach so that we can play with this bloody new gimbal. The Zhiyun Crane 2S, baby. I feel like Zhiyun basically made this gimbal for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So if you see, this thing is like proper nice and wide at the bottom, so you can actually fit a fully rigged out Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, even the 6K with a super heavy Sigma 18-35. This is basically the lens that everyone who owns this camera uses. So I thought, you know what can I do to actually replicate this in like a real world situation? Most people use the Sigma 18-35, a big monitor on the top. And obviously, right here, I can pretty much have my handheld rig fit on this thing. So yeah, man, there's good and bad things about this gimbal. Let's get stuck in with a few shots to see how this runs. And yeah, man, I know you lot want to see some like actual live footage. So let's get stuck in, mate. Bosh. Yo! That is going to be well too loud. That'll blow the fucking speakers. Can't see me box, can you? I expect this is going to work a lot better. Studio James checking in because I'm just watching this footage back here and I'm thinking 4 pints down James at the beach is not the right geezer to talk about this gimbal. This gimbal can hold so much bloody weight. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to step in on this one. So people, we have got the new Crane 2S. Obviously the successor to the original Crane 2, which I have here. I've had this for about like almost 3 years, I think. Now at the time, this gimbal was a massively iconic little gimbal, you know, first gimbal to be able to hold like a pretty heavy payload with only like a pistol grip. First one to have the follow focus. However, we now have this absolute beast of a gimbal, the Crane 2S. So much stronger, so much better, pretty much in every single way. Now, hold your horses, I do want to talk about the elephant in the room because I know you're all looking at this like, James, where's the bloody angled motor? And that's exactly what I thought when they sent it me. I was like, Zhiyun, what's going on here? I thought we got past the whole like in-your-face motor, like I want to actually see my bloody screen kind of thing, you know? Why have we kind of taken a step back on this motor? And they actually then emailed me back and said, look, James, we've had quite a few people say that we've sent this to. So we've made a few modifications. They then sent me a new one. And they've got these new little screws at the bottom. And it looks like you can unscrew these, mount this motor at the bottom, then you've got an angled motor. Anyway, I haven't tested that out yet, but I do need to do that because that is pretty damn important, because I do think that having this motor without an angle on it is a bit of a deal breaker, you know? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this bad boy. I honestly think Zhiyun have made this gimbal like for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Now, the big issue with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is the fact that it's so fat and wide, and not many gimbals actually have the space at the bottom of the gimbal to actually mount such a wide camera. Now, luckily, this gimbal has got so much clearance at the bottom, you can mount the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera fully caged up. Now, I really just wanted to like get to the nitty gritty, get down to the actual reason we're here, you know. So I proper maxed out my Blackmagic. I fully caged it up. I chucked like probably the heaviest lens that most people are going to be using on this camera, and it is the Sigma 18-35 1.8 Art Series lens. I've got an ND on the front, and I've even got my whole like handheld rig still mounted on whilst the camera's on the gimbal, and I'm going to be talking about that in a sec, because that is one of my like big key features I'd say about this new gimbal. Now, one thing I did notice is that when you actually run along with this setup this big on the sand, I was getting a bit of shakes, mate. I wouldn't recommend doing like anything super heavy and fast with this gimbal when you've got like a monitor on top. I just think the center of gravity is too high when you've got a monitor on top to be doing like on sand, running, anything that's got a little bit of, you know, bit of this in it. It's probably going to struggle with a monitor on top, so you're better off just chucking your monitor down on the side for when you're doing them running shots, because I noticed that it came out so much smoother. However, with a setup just like this, a monitor on top, any kind of walk-in shots, absolutely no problem for a camera with a very, very heavy lens setup, big monitor on top, no IBIS, no optical stabilization. Now, in terms of the design and the layout, everything is pretty much exactly the same. However, we do have the new lock-in mechanisms that we've got on most of the new camera gimbals nowadays. It just needs to be compulsory on every bloody gimbal. And we've now got this 90-degree flex mount, so you can mount your camera at a 90-degree angle. So if you're going to be doing stuff for stories or 9x16 video, whatever you want. Everything else about the gimbal is pretty much the same. We have now got this nice carbon fiber kind of bottom handle, because a lot of people are complaining on the Crane 2 that it was just very, very slippery. And I know it sounds stupid, yeah? They've clearly thought, it looks a bit weird. They've clearly thought about it, because like straight away, I don't know how I can explain to you how this feels. Like, that is pretty slippery, yeah? But that is super grippy. How is carbon fibre like grippy and this ain't? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost like it's a little bit soft. Anyway, it's more grippy. Now, the OLED screen has been made a little bit bigger. Like, don't know if that's even that much of a pro, but now Zhiyun haven't actually come out of like an official weight that this can hold, but it has got like a list of setups that it can hold, if that makes sense. So I'll leave a list in the description of what them kind of setups are. But you know what I'll do? I'll just weigh my entire cinema camera rig that I shot a lot of them shots with, and I'll literally put it like right here. Bosh. So onto like my favourite element of this gimbal, other than the fact that it can actually just finally hold like a really, really strong position with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. I've found a way, yeah, to get my like handheld rig, which I'll show you right now, yeah. I'm like looking at my monitor, because I'm still on the A7S Mark II. I want that monitor up here to show you. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it. So let me get a quick battery for this thing. Yeah. Oh, so check out the state of this, yeah. So I've got my fully rigged up Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, fully caged up, monitor on top, huge lens. Like, there's not many people going to be running a bigger setup than this, unless you're going to have like a big V-mount battery. And obviously you can just whack your battery on the actual gimbal, so you don't have to mess about with it. And a lot of people actually put their monitors down here. So yeah, I'm just trying to like, you know, really put it for its paces. All I have to do to go into my kind of handheld setup is literally lock these two axes here, turn the gimbal off, yeah? I'm ready to go, mate. I think this is so handy, mate. I'm always about like just maximum efficiency when I'm shooting, the light's going down. I need to be shooting handheld back on a gimbal, handheld back on a gimbal, because, you know, I can't quite make my mind up what shot I want. And I think it's so important to like kind of go from them two setups. And for this, it literally just clips on so easy. I just think that is such a big thing, especially with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, because there isn't many gimbals out there that can actually hold it without having all of these counterbalances and these side plates to push it over. The only other gimbal that I've really found actually does it properly without any of the crap that you need to actually make it balance is this gimbal and the Crane 3S. And obviously then much, much bigger gimbals that aren't really in my kind of range, because I don't want to be lugging about an absolute suitcase with me everywhere I go, you know? So for me, I honestly think that this gimbal is probably the best gimbal for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera for a compact setup anyway, you know. It is going to be interesting to see what it's like if I can actually get this motor down, because I then think this gimbal's pretty much perfect, dare I say it, you know, because I don't think there is anything that's pretty much perfect other than the A7S Mark III. However, I do have a little confession to make with my own design, yeah? So obviously we've got my handheld rig there, and obviously we've got the handle on the side. When I tilt down, oh, look, we hit that and it just pushes it down. Now, obviously that ain't a bloody gimbal issue. That is an issue with myself and my own bloody design. So I actually need to find a way to fix that. But obviously, if I really want to go down low, I just chuck it in underslung mode, or I can literally just pull my handle off, boom. Yeah, man, I am extremely impressed with this gimbal, I'm not gonna lie. I would, however, have liked this back motor angled from the off. Like, if they'd have done that from the off, I would really, really struggle to think about, like, what they could have improved on this gimbal, because I think, for me, there really isn't anything else that I can really say that's bad about it. And for those of you that, again, get the A7S Mark III, I have run the A7S Mark III on this. You know, when I had it for that 24 hours in my last video, I used this with the Sony A7S Mark III. This back axis motor isn't an issue at all, because the screen is out here to the side on the A7S Mark III, so that doesn't even get in the way. So for me, this gimbal is probably going to replace most of my bigger handheld gimbals. The Crane 3S is an amazing gimbal, but I just think it's a little bit too big and too bulky for me. Even though it is a little bit more powerful than this, this does everything that I need it to, especially with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera and the Sony A7S Mark III. However, I still think the Weebill S is an amazing gimbal for the A7S Mark III. Obviously, the Weebill S can hold this camera when it's like fully stripped down in a very, very small and light setup, but most people want to be running this thing heavy. They want to get the maximum they can out of their Blackmagic, and I think this gimbal delivers that. So, Zhiyun, well done on that. You lot, tell me what you think. Is this gimbal for you? Oh yeah, the price. I can't leave you lot hanging without the price. It's $599, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, we're looking at about $599 for this gimbal. Yeah, guys, tell me what you think. What do you reckon in the comments? Am I an idiot for going to the beach and getting absolutely battered? Should I have done the whole thing there? Should I release that footage? Or should I absolutely just delete that, format the drive, bury the card? Anyway, people, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all sweet. I've done that well too early. That was my intro. What am I doing? Anyway, people, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be catching you lot in the next one, mate. I knew I'd bloody get it. Bosh!